8 p.m. on Saturday, the 25th of July, 2009, and it's time for a live Frankiecast with your host, Isabel McGillicuddy. This is the video blog dedicated to the self-proclaimed coolest cat in the world, 5.5-year-old gray male tabby Frankie Johnson. Here comes the show. I'm Frankie's dad, Tom, filling in tonight for Isabel McGillicuddy, who is away on emergency assignment. And this is the live Frankiecast. As some of you know, there was a recent post on Frankie's forum, all posted by me, in which I proposed a hypothetical situation in which a favorite cat from the past time travels, just for one day, into your house, appears, and says, "I can only do this one time. I'm here from the past, just for this day. Will you spend the day with me?" And several people gave very interesting responses, thought-provoking responses. I appreciate them. And of course, it made me think. And without a doubt, immediately the cat that came to my mind about a cat from the past was my Mexican kitten named Hot Dog. Hot Dog was a cat that my now ex-wife and I found at a resort in Mexico. And Hot Dog was living with a colony of stray cats there on the resort. And this Hot Dog took a special liking to us. We began feeding her, of course, room service food and food that we bought along the beach at the resort. And we named her Hot Dog because her favorite food was hot dogs. What else? We would buy hot dogs at a stand there on the resort and feed them to her in our hotel room there at the resort, and she would eat them as though she was starving. She also loved shrimp. Shrimp left over from the restaurant, our room service shrimp. She would just devour them. And we would let her in for a feeding and then let her back out, and we wouldn't see her again for quite a long time. Eventually, we decided to keep her in the room. We hid her in the bathroom. We put up the Do Not Disturb sign. We didn't have our room cleaned for days because we were hiding her. She wasn't supposed to be in the room, of course. We had to make some inquiries about how do we get a Mexican cat out of Mexico and back to the United States. We found out we had to get a veterinary exam. The veterinarian had to sign some type of form saying that she was cleared for international travel. We had to take a crazy cab ride to Playa del Carmen to the veterinarian. It's a very long story. I won't go into it. It was a big ordeal. Finally, we get the cat back to the United States, and she was the best kitten ever. We, before long, noticed that something was wrong about her gait. Her front paws turned outward from one another. She was a little bit clumsy. Eventually it became obvious something was wrong. We took her to the veterinarian, who promptly did a couple of crude neurological exams and noticed that she had no menace reflex. So moving his hand quickly toward her like this, right into her face, did not cause her to flinch or pull back. She did not have a reflex to where she would have picked up and then placed toward the edge of a table. She would not reach out toward the edge of the table to grab hold to try to pull herself up. So something was wrong neurological. So she saw every type of specialist you can imagine at the University of Missouri-Columbia Veterinary School, from a neurologist to an ophthalmologist to an internal medicine specialist to an infectious disease specialist. She had every test you can imagine. She had biopsies of her liver, kidney. Hi, Tub. She had a lumbar puncture so that there was cerebral fluid that was drawn. Samples of her tissues, her blood, her cerebral spinal fluid, her urine, her stool were sent to several different universities across the country. I'm not kidding. From the west coast to the east coast, San Diego to somewhere on the east coast, I can't remember where. The bottom line was, Matt, can I have a little quiet here, please? This is a serious topic. Hot Dog, the consensus was, had a rare genetic disorder called a storage disease, invariably fatal, for which there was no cure. Hot Dog lived about a year here. She just steadily deteriorated neurologically, as was predicted by the veterinarians. Eventually she could not walk. Eventually she could no longer drag herself across the floor. And naturally we should have had her euthanized, but we couldn't pull the trigger on that decision. And she eventually died in my then wife's arms in the middle of the night. We had her cremated. And here she is. This is Hot Dog's urn. You can see there her picture. She's inside here. And this is her collar. Her hot dog collar that she wore right up into the end. It's a Beastie Band, I imagine that. The Beastie Band has hot peppers on it, because she was Mexican, of course. And there's her tag. It says Hot Dog, has my name and address on it and such. So that was Hot Dog's collar. Still has some of her fur stuck to it. I can smell it. So she was a great cat, and she's the cat that if she came back for a day, if she would time travel, I would call off work, I would call off my own funeral, and gladly spend the day with her. So I would not change anything. I would not leave her in Mexico, especially because there was a hurricane the following season, and a huge surge. What do they call that? Not a tidal surge, but anyway, a big wall of water came in and flooded the entire lower floor of all the resort buildings, wiped out the jungle behind the resort. All those cats in that colony, I suspect they died, if they weren't already dead, of the same genetic disorder as Hot Dog. So that's my story of the time-traveling cat that I would like to see appear on my kitchen counter. Not much else going on around here. Penelope had her veterinary visit, as I described to you. Tubby continues to be a lap cat at times in the evenings. You can see him here. Say hello, Tub. And I'll close this out with a Frankie feeding. As always, stay after for the post-show chat at frankiejohnson.squarespace.com. Thanks for watching. Let's do a Frankie feeding. I'll be back momentarily with that. Look, I'll be honest, I don't feel like doing a Frankie feeding because some cat, you can see him here trying to hide behind my hand, and I don't even know how to operate a camera. Oh, there he is. Okay. Tubby has me pinned down, and I don't feel like waiting till he gets up, and I don't feel like moving him. I just feel like getting this video finished and getting it sent off. So I'm sorry, folks. No Frankie feeding here on this Frankiecast, but stick around for the after-show chat, and maybe I shall feed Frankie then and get him some FaceTime. He needs FaceTime on camera. This is his live Frankiecast. He did approve of the content of tonight's show, though. I made sure to clear this all with him ahead of time. And he loved Hot Dog. He never knew her. But he loves her memory because she's a great tabby, just like Frankie. All right. See you later.